You're struggling. Everything feels like it's falling apart and you're asking, why me? But what if I told you, this isn't a setback, it's a sign. A sign that something big is coming. Because before a breakthrough, life tests you. The question is, will you recognize the signs or give up before your moment arrives? Life has a way of testing us just before it rewards us. It's a pattern that repeats itself time and time again, yet so many people fail to recognize it. When you are about to receive something big, the first sign isn't ease, it's struggle. The storm always comes before the gift. The question is, will you endure it, or will you surrender before your moment arrives? Imagine a ship at sea, sailing towards its destination. The closer it gets to shore, the stronger the waves become. The wind roars, the rain pours, and the sailors question if they will make it. But what they fail to see is that just beyond the storm, the land is waiting. This is life. The greatest things do not come without resistance, and those who give up in the storm never reach the shore. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The hardships you face are not obstacles meant to stop you, they are the path itself. Life does not punish you with challenges, it prepares you through them. Every great leader, every successful individual, every person who has achieved something remarkable has faced their own storm. But instead of retreating, they moved forward because they understood one universal truth: the storm is a sign that something is coming. Look back at your own life. Think of the moments when you faced the greatest difficulty. Maybe you lost a job, maybe a relationship ended. Maybe you faced rejection after rejection, failure after failure, setback after setback. At the time, it felt like the world was against you. But what happened after? If you endured, you likely found something better on the other side. The loss made room for something greater. The failure taught you lessons that later led to success. The pain built a strength in you that you didn't even realize was growing. But many people don't make it through. They see the storm as proof that they are meant to fail, not as proof that they are close to something big. They give up too soon, not realizing they were just one more step, one more attempt, one more moment of endurance away from a breakthrough. This is why so few people reach their full potential. They misinterpret the storm. Seneca, another great Stoic, said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When you go to the gym, your muscles do not grow from comfort, they grow from resistance. They grow when they are pushed to their limits. Life operates the same way. The moments that break you down are the moments that build you up. If you can change your perspective and see struggle not as suffering but as training, you will begin to understand why the storm comes before the gift. In the middle of hardship, most people pray for relief. They ask, why is this happening to me? But the wise ask a different question. What is this trying to teach me? Because they know that within every struggle, there is preparation. If life is making things difficult, it is because something on the other side requires a stronger version of you. You are being refined, molded, and tested, not to destroy you, but to prepare you for what is coming. The storm reveals who is truly ready. It separates those who are committed from those who only wanted something if it came easily. It eliminates the weak so that only the strong remain, and those who remain, those who hold their ground, who endure the winds, who refuse to be shaken, those are the ones who receive the reward. So, when the storm comes, do not panic, do not retreat, do not ask why. Instead, stand firm and remind yourself, this is not the end. This is the beginning. Something big is coming, and I will be ready. In the pursuit of something bigger, we are often asked to detach from comfort. This may seem counterintuitive, as comfort is what most people seek in life. We crave stability, security, and familiarity. But the truth is, comfort can be one of the greatest barriers to growth and transformation. If you want something different, something more significant, you must be willing to leave your comfort zone and embrace the discomfort that accompanies change. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "We suffer not from events, but from our judgment about them." What this means is that our attachment to comfort often comes from our perception of what is good or bad. When things feel easy, we assume that they are going well. When things feel hard, we view them as setbacks or failures. But this judgment is what keeps us chained to mediocrity. True growth comes not from staying in the familiar, but from stepping into the unknown, where discomfort reigns. Consider this: every time you experience growth, you are stepping out of your comfort zone. Whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a new challenge, or making a life change, these moments require you to let go of what is familiar and embrace uncertainty. Without discomfort, there is no progress. Without detachment from what you know, there is no room for something better to come in. Seneca reminds us that it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. When you resist change, you make everything harder. The moment you stop fearing discomfort and start embracing it, you unlock a new level of possibility. The act of detaching from your comfort zone is liberating. It is the first step toward living a life of purpose and intention. Comfort is an illusion. It lures you into a false sense of safety, keeping you stagnant. It tricks you into thinking that because something feels good in the moment, it is serving you in the long term. But true fulfillment and purpose are found outside of comfort. Detaching from the things that hold you in place allows you to move forward. And it's only by doing so that you will discover the greatness waiting just beyond the familiar. Life has a way of pushing us to our limits, testing our strength and resilience in ways we never anticipated. It is in these moments, when we are at our lowest, that we hear the call to our inner strength, the part of us that is often hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. This call is not a loud or dramatic announcement, but a quiet urging, a reminder that we are capable of far more than we realize. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Strength does not come from comfort or ease. It is forged in the fires of adversity. When you are pushed to the edge, when you feel like you can no longer go on, that is the moment when your true strength reveals itself. It is not in the absence of difficulty that we grow, but in our response to it. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to tap into this inner well of strength and resilience. But the call to inner strength requires a shift in perspective. It requires you to stop viewing hardship as something to avoid and start seeing it as a necessary part of your journey. Every setback, every failure, every difficult moment is a chance to grow stronger, to refine your character, and to deepen your resolve. When you face challenges head-on instead of running from them, you begin to realize that they are not obstacles. They are stepping stones to a stronger, more powerful version of yourself. The Stoics teach us that we have control over our responses, not the events themselves. It's not the external world that determines our strength, but our ability to rise above it. In moments of difficulty, you can choose to succumb to despair or rise to the occasion with courage and perseverance. The call to inner strength is a call to take control of how you respond to life, to refuse to let circumstances define you, and to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. This inner strength does not manifest overnight. It is cultivated through repeated trials, through the decision to keep going even when everything inside you screams to quit. But with each step forward, no matter how small, you grow stronger. The call to inner strength is not a distant dream. It is already within you, waiting to be awakened. The question is, will you answer it? In life, we often find ourselves waiting for something, whether it's a goal, a dream, or a breakthrough. But the one thing that's certain is that not everything arrives when we expect it. There are moments when it feels like we are being denied the things we desire most. Yet, what if the delay is not a sign of denial, but of timing? What if the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, is simply waiting for the right moment to give you exactly what you need? The Stoics understood this concept deeply. They knew that the timing of events was beyond their control, and that often the most important things in life come at a time we don't anticipate. It is easy to become discouraged when what we want doesn't arrive when we want it. But instead of viewing this delay as an obstacle, we can choose to see it as preparation. When something is delayed, it's often because we are not yet ready for it. We may think we are prepared, but life knows what we truly need, and sometimes that takes longer to align. Epictetus taught that it is not the events themselves that cause suffering, but our expectations and desires surrounding them. We want what we want, and we want it now. But impatience is often the root of our frustration. When we demand that things happen on our timetable, we create unnecessary stress and anxiety. The truth is that great things often take time, and the universe has its own rhythm. When you are in alignment with that rhythm, you begin to trust that delays are simply part of the process, not a roadblock. The most important things in life, success, relationships, wisdom, are not handed to us on a silver platter. They are earned, and that process requires time, effort, and patience. There is an old saying, good things come to those who wait. But in Stoic philosophy, the waiting isn't passive. It's active. It's about using the time to grow, to learn, to improve yourself. The delay isn't there to frustrate you. It's there to give you the space to become the person who is ready to receive what's coming. So, instead of lamenting the delay, trust that it is not a denial of your desires. It is simply life's way of preparing you for something greater than you could imagine. The best things in life are worth the wait, and when they finally come, you will be more than ready to receive them. There are moments in life when everything seems unclear, when the path ahead is obscured by confusion, fear, or doubt. It's in these moments, however, that a shift in vision can unlock the clarity you need. This shift doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from within. It's the realization that your perspective on life, on challenges, and on yourself is the key to unlocking the life you desire. Often we become so focused on what isn't going right that we fail to see the opportunities right in front of us. We see obstacles, not possibilities. We see limitations, not potential. This is where a shift in vision becomes necessary. It's about changing the way you perceive the world and your role in it. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you can control. Instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it as an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and emperor, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the essence of shifting your vision. Challenges and difficulties are not hindrances, but opportunities for action and growth. When you shift your focus, you begin to see obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. The problems you face are not signs of failure. They are tests, lessons in disguise, pushing you to grow stronger and wiser. A shift in vision is also about seeing yourself differently. Often, we limit ourselves by the stories we tell ourselves. We believe we are not capable, that we don't deserve success, or that we are unworthy of the life we want. But when you change the way you see yourself, when you embrace your potential, your strength, and your capacity to grow, you open the door to new possibilities. You begin to act with more confidence and clarity, knowing that you are capable of achieving what you once thought impossible. This shift doesn't always happen overnight. It's a gradual process, a constant effort to reshape your mindset and your perception. But as you start to change the way you look at the world and your challenges, you will begin to see opportunities where you once saw only limitations. The shift in vision allows you to break free from the constraints of your past and embrace a future full of possibility. It's the moment you realize that everything you need to move forward is already within you. You just had to change your perspective to see it. In the journey toward achieving something meaningful, there will inevitably be moments when the road seems endless, when progress feels slow, and when uncertainty clouds your path. It is in these moments that you face the ultimate test, the test of patience and faith. It's easy to remain hopeful when things are moving quickly, when success feels imminent, and when everything is aligning perfectly. But the true measure of character comes not in times of ease, but in times of waiting, in times when it feels like everything is at a standstill. Patience is not merely about waiting, it is about how you wait. It is about maintaining your composure and staying faithful to your goals, even when the results are not immediately visible. Too often, people confuse patience with passivity, assuming that to wait is to do nothing. But true patience is active. It's the ability to remain focused on your goals, to continue putting in the work, even when the results seem far out of reach. It's the understanding that growth, success, and fulfillment are processes that unfold in their own time, and that trying to force or rush these processes only leads to frustration. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. Patience is, in essence, a mastery over one's emotions. It requires you to hold steady in the face of adversity, to keep moving forward when things aren't going as planned, and to trust that what is meant for you will come when the time is right. It's the ability to resist the temptation to give up, to remain steadfast in the face of doubt and discouragement. It's easy to be patient when everything is going well, but true patience is tested when things go wrong, when the path is unclear, and when the reward feels distant. But patience alone is not enough. Faith is just as essential. Faith is the belief that the process you're in is leading you to something greater, even when you cannot see it. Faith is the conviction that all the hard work, the waiting, and the suffering will eventually bear fruit. It's the understanding that the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, is guiding you toward your purpose, even when you can't immediately perceive its plan. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Faith helps you to overcome the temptation to despair during the waiting period. It's easy to become discouraged when you don't see results right away. You start questioning your efforts, your worth, and your path. You might even be tempted to quit, to give in to the belief that maybe this goal isn't meant for you. But faith is what helps you keep moving forward, even in the absence of immediate rewards. It's the belief that the process itself is shaping you, preparing you for what's to come. The test of patience and faith requires trust, not just in the world around you, but in yourself. It's the confidence that no matter how long it takes, you have the strength and resilience to continue. Trust that the challenges you face are not random. They are there to teach you, to strengthen you, and to make you better. This is where faith and patience intersect. They both require you to trust in a greater process. The waiting, the trials, the setbacks, they are all part of your growth. In the absence of instant gratification, true strength is built. This is where the Stoics found their power. They understood that patience and faith weren't passive traits. They were active forces in the shaping of a person's character. In the struggle, in the delay, in the waiting, they found their power. It's easy to be faithful when the end is in sight, but the true test comes when you cannot see the end at all. This is where the greatest growth occurs. When you endure the test of patience, when you hold steadfast in faith, and when you trust that the process is leading you to something even greater than you can imagine. So, when you find yourself at the crossroads of uncertainty, when it feels like everything is taking longer than you expected, remember, this is your test. This is the moment where you decide whether you will continue, whether you will trust the process and have faith in the journey. Because the true reward is not the destination itself, but the strength, wisdom, and resilience you build along the way. When you pass the test of patience and faith, you will find that what you receive is far greater than you could have ever imagined.